What's up everyone, Tommy with Studio Sense here. No matter what you're doing or where you're at, I want to take a quick second to say thanks for tuning in to check out today's video. Today I'm talking about the most proficient, efficient, office-friendly fragrance, that's a mouthful, of 2022, if not the best. And I'm going to give you some reasons why I think Armani Code Parfum, the new release by Giorgio Armani in the Armani Code line. I'm going to give you some reasons why I think this is the best new release in the office-friendly genre of fragrances to date. That and more is coming your way, so stay tuned. Welcome back everyone to today's fragrance discussion video review of the fragrance Armani Code Parfum. In 2004, Giorgio Armani released the original Armani Code. That was 18 years ago, which is hard to believe it when you smell Armani Code now, the original Eau de Toilette. And of course later on in 2021 they refined the formula even more to come out with Armani Code, the Eau de Parfum. Even better received than the original was, at least according to internet reviews and forums. What's interesting though is the original Armani Code carried notes like star anise and tobacco in the base, along with other notes like leather and tonka bean, and it opened with a citrus burst of bergamot and lemon. Again, 2021 came along, they redid the formula into an EDP version. They kept that lemon and bergamot in the open, and for whatever reason, and I don't know why they did this, what the logic was behind removing tobacco from the formula. They stuck with the original citrus open, but they took away the tobacco in the base and they moved in some musk and some vanilla. And while the results were definitely good, they weren't negative by any means, I feel like it could have been even more iconic, kept the fragrance in that whole tonka tobacco masculine kind of genre. I'm not saying that what they did was wrong, and I'm not saying the results were any less palatable, because when this was released this year, Armani Code Parfum, I was quite surprised at the results. I made a pretty bold statement at the intro of this video, and that is I feel like Armani Code Parfum is the best office-friendly fragrance in the whole work office signature scent fragrance genre of 2022. And I stand by that statement. I'm going to give you some reasons why I think that's the case. First, let's take a quick look at the presentation. I've given you guys my first impressions. My first impressions have not changed drastically. However, I have a new respect for the longevity of the performance of the fragrance, and that's primarily what I'm talking about. The overall tenacity of the scent profile is primarily what we're going to be discussing today. But there is some kind of, Armani Code Parfum affords a kind of utilitarian style that is not style over substance or substance over style, a kind of unilateral forming a union. And that's what they've done, I feel like, in this. Not only is the bottle very heavy duty, very well made, very thick glass. You've got that whole mysterious opaque look. You can't see through the bottle, but when you put it up to light, you can actually see that, similar to other bottles that look like they're not transparent, you can actually see through it. You can see the juice. The lid, of course, is just hard plastic. The atomizer is very heavy duty. It's made to screw off and on because this is a refillable bottle. So that's kind of a bonus too. It's built into the presentation. It's very hardy, very well done. Kind of like double stitch clothing that you pay a bit more for because it's going to last a lot longer. Kind of the same thing for the bottle. Stick it inside and squeeze it, fill it back up again, screw it back on, and you've got your magnetic lid, which is a bonus. Giorgio Armani logo is engraved in the top of the lid. And of course, you've got your adhesive sticker on the bottom with the batch code and some other additional information. On the bottom of the bottle is where you can really see that you can see through. It's such a drastic difference from the original presentation and bottle, which this feels like a mini barbell in your hand. It's very thin, very tall, and it tapers to be thicker on the top and the bottom and thinner in the middle. So it's got kind of a cool style to it. There's really not a lot of style to this. This just says, I'm all about the clean cut, but I'm all about the business. This is definitely a business, serious, not playful at all fragrance. So some people see that as a negative. Of course, presentation is important, but the most important factor of a fragrance is its fragrance. It's built into the word, how it smells. So what are the notes that make up Armani Code Parfum? Bergamot dominates this fragrance. Let me just tell you, bergamot dominates the not just the open of Armani Code Parfum, but the entire body of the fragrance is encompassed in bergamot and bergamot leaf. What bergamot and the bergamot leaf do in the open is it gives you this whole bright citrusy, you get this like lemon lime effect, which is pretty much bergamot. It's a combination of the two. What happens with the bergamot leaf is you get this kind of green almost vegetal, lightly vegetal undertone. And this is where technology benefits a fragrance. They use a kind of molecular distillation process to separate the scent molecules in the bergamot leaf, so that it's carried for much longer. And it sounds like just marketing schlep. In actuality, it really, really does impact the life of the aroma. It truly is a long-lasting, from the open to the mid to the heart. You get this almost absolutely even Steven kind, no sine waves up and down, you know, where it smells good here, it goes away here, and finally comes back in the dry down. It maintains a very stout bergamot, lightly vegetal bergamot citrus open that is extremely fresh, extremely clean, and very pleasant. And that really is the caveat, I think, of the fragrance. Piled on top of that, of course, you get this very clean iris. It's not really a makeup-y iris. It's not really a Dior Homme Intense iris. It's not even a Prada L'Homme iris. It's a little bit fresher iris that seems to go with citrus a lot better than any iris I've ever smelled. It was like it was made to go hand in hand with the bergamot note. Just like the open has basically two kinds of bergamot leaf, the heart has a couple of kinds or aspects of iris. There's orris butter, there's iris aldehydes. It's like the elegant dry aspects of iris that make it aldehydic are part of that. And of course the orris or iris butter, which is that kind of floral, sharp, specific iris note that you can pick out pretty much immediately in any fragrance in which iris is part. There's a spicy bit of clary sage in the heart. In the base, similar to the EDP version, you've got that tonka bean absolute, and Virginia cedar is the wood in Armani Code Parfum. So while Armani Code Parfum is a great example of when technology does something fantastic to a fragrance and furthers the aroma or the tonal quality, sharpens it up, refines it quite a bit, that's pretty much it. There's really nothing else in the fragrance to sell it as being some kind of crazy cool plot device or olfactive magic going on in here. Final end result of Armani Code Parfum is, to me, the best office scent that we have seen thus far in 2022, because think about the office place for just a quick second. Not that you want to think about work right now, and I definitely don't want you to get into that mindset, but think about what the office is like, what the workplace is like. It's a place where you're expected to be serious, right? But you want to lighten up the environment. You want to have fun. So there's work-appropriate banter, work-appropriate humor. A little bit of brevity goes a long way when it comes to work and kind of lightening the load a little bit for yourself and for people around you. Well, the fragrance is exactly the same. It's definitely all about the serious and all about the business. It performs immaculately, and yet there in the background there is that just enough to suggest that this is the perfect work fragrance, but outside of work, it's equally as useful and versatile. Of course, it's Giorgio Armani, so for a designer, a little bit more in terms of cost. The entire mission of Armani Code is to fulfill your needs, your fragrance needs, when it comes to work and play. That work-life balance written into the DNA, built into the formula, and that's exactly the way that it comes across. I know a lot of people are on the fence about Armani Code Parfum because they didn't go in a direction that they could have. They weren't as maybe creative as they could have been. But I feel like what they did really, really well. Sure, they didn't take any chances, but they didn't necessarily have to take a chance with this fragrance. Very simply put, Armani Code Parfum can be worn on any occasion for any event, but it is best used and utilized in the work environment, at the office. If you own Armani Code Parfum, let me know what your thoughts are. If you think, like I think, it's the best office fragrance of 2022, let me know what you think. If you disagree, I want to know that too. If you feel like something else is better and that came out this year, let me know what that is, and let me know what your thoughts are of your favorite office fragrances that are fresh and clean. Thanks so much though for stopping by and checking out today's video. As always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow.